Hello everyone, today I am going to be showing you how to make a copper bracelet cuff. Now this can be used for men or women, either or. Here's the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a pair of pliers. This is a Leatherman multi-tool, it has pliers in it. Any kind of pliers or anything to grip your piece with will work. A ball peen hammer, a hacksaw or some way to cut your metal. Steel wool is optional, but it's good to have to put a nice finish on it. A file, any kind of sandpaper, as long as it can remove material. Copper pipe right here. This is really long because I like having extra on hand for different projects. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. And I forgot to mention, be sure to have a ruler or something like this in hand. So, and figure out where on your wrist you want it to go. So I want it to be like right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and measure my wrist 3.5 inches. So what you want to do is you want to measure out 3.5 inches on your copper piece, and then you want to add, basically you lay your arm down, you want to add 4 more inches to it. So 3.5, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That should work. You always want more material than too little material. In fact, as I'm looking at it, that's a little long, so you might want to go down about 1/2 inch. So bring it to about 7 inches of material you have right here. Is mark the spot you want to cut. Now that you have your piece of copper tube, what you're going to want to do is flatten it out. Be sure you have a hammer and something to lay it on and hammer it flat basically. I'm going to go ahead and start. You don't want any air bubbles. You can see there's a few little air bubbles in it. So make sure your piece is straight. So next, you want to put it in the vise. Remove any burrs or sharp edges on the corners with your file. Okay, now that you have a piece of copper pipe that's flattened out and the corners are removed, there's no sharp pieces on it now. What you want to do is you want to heat it up and you want to quench it in water. Okay, now you have this piece of copper that's softened up. So now what you want to do is you want to take your ruler and you want to measure your copper piece. And I have a little under 1 inch. I'm going to find the halfway, basically the center of the copper piece. I'm going to perfect, but I do want it in the center. And oh, by the way, this video I am making here is based off of Blackbeard Projects videos. He made a copper bracelet about 5 years ago, and I was inspired to make one like the one he showed. So we're gonna do our best here to keep it all lined up. The hammer and just tap it. Basically what you're wanting to do is you want to curl this edge in on itself. Make sure everything is straight. Make sure it's all lined up with those center lines, otherwise it causes problems in the future. Okay, so now that you have this curled over like an L shape, what you want to do is finish curling it down. So now that you have this flat piece of copper right here, I'm gonna bend this side in on itself, just like I did with this side right here. So now you should have something kind of like this right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put tech string on it. You don't need the tech string, but it just looks better if you do. And switch it to the ball peen side of the hammer and start tapping. Something that looks like this, but it has this warp in it. You don't want that warp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat treat it again. here's what we have now. Right now, because it's folded in on itself and it's real kind of thick actually. This is going to be really hard to bend because of how thick it is. That's why I heat treated it again, because it softens the copper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to straighten it out in the vise best I can. Now I want it to go on my wrist. Fold it in. You can use your vise and hammer. If you have an anvil with a horn on it, it'd make it even easier. You're going for a C shape. That's not really a C shape. It's a C on drugs right there. So after going back and forth for about 40 minutes, this is the shape I have. Now, I don't like how these are poking into me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off if I don't accidentally cut myself and bleed to death on the floor. I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of steel wool, because I kind of like the look. After I was all done making this thing, I estimated it to be about, an hour's worth of work and about $20 worth of materials and tools. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and drop a like and comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. And also, if you guys can get good at this, you can turn this into a business. A lot of people like copper jewelry. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.